All right, now we're going to talk some Arizona baseball. Okay, now, Kobe Thiel, you know everything about Arizona baseball, and you have been a massive, massive Chip Hale hater. You have been blocked from the U of A baseball account. What have you done to
That
do
is
that?
true.
And do you apologize for everything?
I Yes and no. I'm not going to say everything I said was incorrect. There have definitely been points I've made that are correct. So I'm not exactly going to apologize for everything, but I am going to say Chip Hale, I am warming up on him. I'm not as down as I'm not as down as I was about, I don't know, 2, 3 months ago, because beginning of the year I was very down on him.
All right, now let's talk about what has made Arizona baseball so good this year, Kobe Thiel, and we got to get the head man credit for making that move.
That'd be the pitching staff. He hired Kevin Vance after letting Dave Long go. Long actually technically stepped down, but it was more of a, hey, you got to go or you're getting fired. It's one of the two. So
Right.
Kevin Vance was huge. What was that?
Oh, go ahead.
Um, Kevin Vance was huge. He is one of the top pitching coaches in the country, in my opinion. Currently, they have the best pitching staff overall ERA in the conference, and it's top 3 in the country. They have the best walk to strikeout ratio. They have as good of a 3-man rotation as you can have. They're very solid.
Are we going to be able to keep Kevin Vance?
He's going to be a hot commodity. He's younger, and I'm going to assume he's going to want to be a head coach. So they're going to have to come up with some funds to pay him, I would assume. But he has done wonders. People talk about his pitching staff. They haven't talked too much about his bullpen development. A couple years ago, or a couple months ago, the bullpen was awful, and the bullpen's really turned around. And he also did a lot of work in the transfer portals. They have to come up with the money to keep him. He's done God's work for that program.
All right, now Arizona hosting a regional. What are the chances that this happens? And can Arizona make some real damage in the college baseball playoffs?
I actually was Division One baseball is one of my favorite websites. They put out a new bracketology yesterday, and they currently have Arizona as the second overall 2 seed. And then one of their lead writers put a tweet out when someone asked, like, hey, why is Arizona not one of the top 16 teams? And he pretty much said it came down to their RPI, because currently their RPI is around 34 or so.
Right.
And he said that he doesn't see that changing at the moment because about 2-3 years ago, TCU won the Big 12 and they didn't get to host because their RPI was in the 30s. So they're going to have to beat Oregon State and Utah. They'll probably have to win both series and have a good showing in the conference tournament to host the regional.
All right, now we're going to get back to this. We're going to get maybe some inside information from Kobe Thiel. But first, the BetMGM Sportsbook app. Here's the deal. Just like Kobe Thiel, just like myself, use the BetMGM Sportsbook app. Sign up for BetMGM. Use bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app for at least $10. You will receive $1,500 in bonus bets if the bet loses. Kobe Thiel, are you picking Arizona to host a regional?
At this moment, I would say probably not.
All right, so you would go against that if that was an option on the BetMGM Sportsbook app?
I would.
All right, Kobe Thiel, as always, a Chip Hale denier. Now, let's hear Shane Dievenbach with the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
All right, now, I'm going to give myself some credit. I'm going to give myself some love. I have been a Chip Hale guy from day one. Never got off the Chip Hale wagon. This is true.
This is true. You told me, right? I think you were clamoring for Chip Hale before he was even hired, actually. I think when all the hot boards were coming out, you were clamoring for him.
All right, we got to give Dave Heeke a lot of credit on this hire, correct?
I do like Dave, so I'll give him credit on that one. But like I said, I'm not going to truly apologize to Chip until he makes a super. That's I agree with Jason Shearer on that one.
If he wins one of the regionals, then you give him credit.
I agree. That's true. I agree to that one.
All right.
Because the past 2 years, they were a hot team going into a regional and they got embarrassed. So we have to win a regional. They have the team this year. They have the pitching to do it. They need to win a regional.
Jacob Franklin, do you want to hop in here and talk a little bit of ASU baseball as well against Arizona and why Arizona is so much better than ASU? Jacob Franklin, you should hop in here.
I mean, everything was split this year. I mean, record-wise, obviously U of A is better, but head-to-head, it's all split. ASU won the series and U of A won the one-off.
But Arizona's in much better shape, though, this season.
It's true. ASU is on the outside looking in. They definitely have a chance to sneak into a regional, but they're going to have to pretty much play lights out for the rest of the year.
All right. So you would rather have Chip Hale than Willie Bloomquist, correct?
I mean, sure. It's hard to judge college coaches in this day and age, like especially in baseball, trying to figure out the NIL system is just impossible.
All right.
Well, recruiting in baseball is so difficult. It's not like football and basketball. You have to grind. I mean, recruiting, you're getting kids to commit when they're 14, 15, 16 years old. I mean, if you're uncommitted as a junior, senior in high school, for the most part, you're not exactly a Division I prospect. So it takes a lot of time to do these, to scout and to get kids to commit. It's not like football where you can look on 24/7 or look at rivals. Oh, so-and-so is this good. So-and-so is this good. You got to really get on the ground and recruit. And even then, you might get a prospect and they might not even show up to campus.
Yeah,
the one thing I'll be really curious to see is when if the pitching coach gets another job down at U of A, if he gets another job, what that program looks like at that point. Because right now, ASU just has zero pitching at all. I mean, that's the downfall of this program and has been for the last 3 or 4 years under Willie Bloomquist. And it's hard for me to judge him on that because Willie Bloomquist was a position player. Like he doesn't, and obviously it falls on the pitching coach at that point. I think baseball is so unique in the fact that you can almost deviate blame from a head coach to an assistant coach, right? Like if you're watching basketball, like the head coach is calling the shots, assistant coaches help. But like when it comes to like baseball, it's you have your head coach who's a position player. He's not going to be the one teaching pitchers. Like he doesn't know how to do that. So it's a little different and hard to judge in that regard.
Would you fire Willie Bloomquist to bring in Vance, Jacob Franklin?
Like as a head coach?
Yeah.
I mean, I bring him in as a pitching coach. I don't know what he looks like as a head coach. I mean, every coach has such different roles that it's just hard to judge. I mean, like he's more so probably looking at pitching coach jobs at like Vanderbilt and stuff like that. But like obviously, it's growth is not linear per se in college baseball.
All right. Well, all right now. Jacob Franklin, how far do you see Arizona going? And can you see Arizona winning at all?
It's really difficult because I could see them go like look, you get hot at the right time, you make a run. The pitching is always helpful. Like I could see them making a run, but I've also watched them lose 24-8 to GCU, and GCU is lower than ASU in RPI. Like anybody can get hot on any given day. Like you could lose to a random low tier mid-major D1 school because they had the bats working that day. So it's really tough to gauge.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about player development. The players that Chip has brought in, Kobe Thiel, how good have they been?
The pitchers, like I said, I was talking about earlier, the bullpen, the beginning of the year, it was rough. It was just unbearable at times to watch the bullpen. But the past couple of weeks, the bullpen's really turned around. The one player I kind of want to highlight in terms of development, you can say I've been on him for a long time, a couple of years now. I've messaged you about him. Andrew Kane. He's a local kid. Out of Iron Ridge High School. I knew he was special when I was watching him play last year, and he smacked a triple because he's a lefty. He smacked a triple down the right field line, and then the next at bat, they gave him a curveball on the outside portion of the plate, and he took a triple down the other line. I knew he was special at that moment, but beginning of the year, he was a rotation guy. He wasn't playing too much, and past couple weeks, he's been a regular player, and he's been killing it. I mean, he hit that 450 bomb the other day. So his development's been really breathtaking to watch this year. It's been very enjoyable. Mikalakis at third base, he's not a third baseman, never been, and he's been killing it at third. He's developed into an awesome third baseman. So I got to give it to Chip that he has really worked the infield and really worked the bats development-wise.
Jacob, you got to agree with all of this, correct?
Sure. I mean, I'm watching the D-backs on the side too, so I got a lot of shows to do today, Mike. I can't be fully involved in this conversation.
All right, that's fine. All right, Kobe Thiel, you have done an yeoman's work talking here about Arizona baseball. Can we get a my bad Chip from you?
I told you I'm not going to give you that until they win the regional.
But you will lead a My Bad Chip movement, #movement, correct?
I'll lead my bad Chip movement. I will be the first to tweet it. You can text me, and I will be the first to tweet it if they win the regional.
All right. By the way, AZ Wildcat, yes, a spacer. We have a spacer on the show. We do not like spacers on this show. We will have, every now and then, we're going to have Kobe on to talk some Arizona baseball, especially if they keep going. We like that. All right, now, no better time to become a PHNX diehard. Here's the reason why. You got Kobe Thiel and Erica Elday running the chat. They're talking about everything. Andy Bryant in there as well. AZ Wildcat fan, come join the Discord. Come join the Discord.